Hello everyone, I hope you're doing fine. My name is Skyline, and this is the second Orisa gameplay review, PTR, trying to figure out how to play her, and I think I made a little bit of a mistake, because I thought it was a good idea to show what I thought was the wrong way to play her, and demonstrate how it didn't work, before I showed the style that I thought did work. And thinking back on that, it might have been maybe a bit silly. So people were thinking that I just thought that Orisa was bad and I was complaining and stuff, and that was the wrong impression. So I shouldn't have done it like that. Now, actually, I think I've spoken a bit too much. We're already too far into this game. Now I'm going to show you an effective way to play her that does work for me, and hopefully it comes off as more constructive rather than destructive. So if you notice, I did this little thing at the beginning. That's to get a little bit of an extra cooldown on my shield. So you see the shield comes down. I only have 6 seconds to cooldown remaining. Managing your shield's cooldown as Orisa, putting down preemptive shields and stuff like that. Now notice that I'm standing pretty far back. I'm standing about as far back as I would playing, let's say, a McCree or a Soldier and Anna or something. Our DPS is over there right now. But my Reinhardt is facing pretty hard in this direction, so I want to support him doing that. Now the Maze come over here as well. But I'm basically playing as this backline sort of thing, putting up my shield on cooldown. Now remember, it's a grenade, guys. It's a ranged thing. You don't have to put your grenade down straight at your feet. And if you do, that's kind of wasting the versatility that it has, being this ranged projectile that you can throw a barrier at with. Now ideally I should be up here with my DPS. Remember, in my Hanamura guide I talked about how everyone should be on one side or the other, and I'm kind of breaking that rule. It's hurting me a little bit, it's hurting my team a little bit because of it. I could be a little more effective over there, but my Reinhardt got killed by a Reaper that snuck pretty far back. Here I'm going to pop my shift just so he doesn't hook me, and the shield as well, and now I hook him back through the shield, so he has to keep going even further. He does finally get a hook on me, but now it's a Mercy Roadhog versus a Mercy Orisa, but I just decided to put down my ultimate because this is a very important fight to win. If we don't win this fight with the Roadhog over here, that could be pretty bad. I finally take him down after a big long exchange, and my shots were quite accurate. I was nailing headshots, I was nailing the shots, and yet still took that long just to take him out. I hooked the Junkrat off the ledge, getting a little bit better at that, a little bit better. But notice again, I'm staying at this far distance. Notice how much better I can actually put shots on targets from this distance as opposed to up close. This is not a close range gun, and especially because your shield isn't even a close range shield, you can throw it out. It's pretty effective to just stand at this range. Now I'm standing in the doorway. The Hanzo gets a very nice ultimate off. It picks off the remaining one or two in the doorway. Now there's a Reaper on the point. I throw out my barrier. Now a Mercy plus Orisa, the Reaper can't really do much. He tries to Death Blossom, but I don't think so. The Junkrat as well is kind of staggered out here, and now he can't actually one-shot me with the tire. I can't really chase the Junkrat exactly, so I'm just going to let the Hanzo go over there and 1v1 him. So now the other team's pushing in. I just got my ultimate, and I'm going to use it immediately here. First of all, I want to have my ultimate up as much as possible, so I want to use it as much as possible. But on Orisa, on defense, as we saw in my last VOD, it's not good to go up and just be like, bam, pop your ult to counter-initiate it. Pretty much just always dies. You have to be a little bit preemptive on defense with your ultimate. And so I heard the Sombra to our left. I saw that the enemies at the gate were being a little aggressive. Our Reinhardt was not, in a forward position. He was a little bit pushed back because he had just respawned and came back. So that's why I used the ultimate to prevent them from utilizing the good positioning they had to get a proper push off. And you can see how that ultimate basically said, nope, reset it. And now our Reinhardt can go back to the front there, and our teammates can all reset now that, because remember, they had respawned before, they were just getting back, and now they're 100% 5. And it's so much easier to land these shots from this distance. I know Orisa is a little bit of a slow-moving target, but I mean, the Roadhog is as well. But up close against particularly the stuff like Sombra, the gun just isn't necessarily as effective as long as they know how to dodge and move properly. Reinhardt's diving in a little bit too far there, so he winds up going down. Now, he's not going to be back by the time respawns come in for the attackers, but I'm not going to play like a Reinhardt. playing a little bit far back, coming all the way back here into sort of my Ana sniper spot even. And I have the shield up. I don't want to use it quite yet because if I use it and it's in the wrong place, that'd be pretty bad. But I'm going to pop it now just as a preemptive shield because our Junkrat got a nice tire off. So it's always good to have your shield up just so the cooldown's running down and it gets value out. Our Reinhardt's back now, which is quite good. They have a Widowmaker, so we need to be a little bit careful of that. Widowmaker has a very, very easy shot on Orisa and almost get her. About 3/4 of the way there. She had a Mercy healing her, so I don't think I would have gotten that anyway. Now I have my ultimate again, and notice how I use my ultimate in this next upcoming fight. So I wait until I see maybe they want to push in. Again, another long range shield. Remember, it has range, guys. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be all the way up there. So now I pop it, and I actually misjudged the range a little bit because I'm not like an Orisa pro yet. I thought that this was just barely reached there. But I think that the range of this thing stops more like here. And so I maybe had to put it behind this rock. If I had put it behind this rock, it would have gotten the Junkrat. But I misjudged the range, so it's not going to hit the Junkrat. Instead, it just hits us over here on the side. And now they're pushing in, but we have the ultimate up, so they can't really do too much. You get a hook off on a Reinhardt. But again, this is fine. I don't need to be close. Look at all this damage I'm putting out on the Roadhog. No problem from that distance. Plus, so if we look at the stats we know about, ignore the 4 medals, that's like pretty good, but it's whatever. So 13.5k damage blocked by our Reinhardt, remember. And if we go up to my stats, I have a little over 10,000 damage blocked. So that's pretty good. That's a good 80% effectiveness compared to a Reinhardt. And I wasn't actually standing up there like a Reinhardt either. So I really don't think that there's a reason to go up there and be the Reinhardt tank. It's like, you're like a remote Reinhardt. But moving on, I want a little bit more examples in this one video besides that one round. So again, look, from this distance, tons of damage. I did 50% just to the Roadhog, plus I harassed the Sombra quite a bit as well. Also killing the Lucio, 60% on him. And Tracer, why would you go in that way? Oh my gosh, she just stuck her head straight into the barrel of my gun. But again, range. You saw that. Well, I had a barrier just to get into the fight a little bit earlier. But the Orisa doesn't need to be. She's not a Reinhardt at all. For this next fight, just in case you're wondering what happened in the middle of my jump cut, the Tracer gets a double pulse bomb, so that's pretty much the end of that fight. But anyway, we wind up taking it back through a big wombo combo ult with our Sombra. Not very exciting, but coming up, I use my shift to block the Tracer ultimate. But here you see, once we get close, I start being a lot less effective again. Not really doing any damage, taking a lot of damage myself. By the way, I should not be so hasty throwing down my shield. I saw an enemy over there and I popped it when really everyone was over here. But you can see from this range, even without any cooldowns, I'm a lot better. Orisa, rather, I guess, is a lot better at keeping people at bay. Use my shift to prevent the knockback from that. Kill the Tracer as well, or do a lot of damage to the Tracer. And just, this is a nice range. Right here, for Orisa, this is a great range. Standing back, not in the front. Like if I had a Reinhardt, you don't want to stand up with your Reinhardt. You want to stand way, way back. In fact, if you have any tank, you just want to be standing back with your supports, pretty much. And that's where I see Orisa as using her shield from a distance, using her right click to peel for your supports, and to every once in a while, you know, do some little offensive stuff because it has infinite range, right? And to use her shift as just this sort of situational thing, particularly against range damage, not against melee damage in particular. I'm probably not going to do any more Orisa gameplay for this channel until the PTR is done because there's only so much you can get out of PTR quick play matches. I really want her to come out in the regular client so I can play ranked and get a real, you know, solid, finished, completed feel for her. But this style, in the PTR at least, of this mid to long range backline tank that peels for the supports and lets the other people go and do the dirty work up front, like the Tracers, the Reinhardts, and stuff like that. That style has been working for me spectacularly on the PTR. You know, getting those 4 gold medals every game for those of you who like medals. Although although it's really hard to not get damaged as Orisa. But anyway, guys, I'll be back to doing your guys' VOD reviews instead of just mine the next time we do a VOD review. Hope this clarified. I wasn't complaining about Orisa in the last video. I was just explaining and demonstrating how the front line playstyle doesn't work, trying to be a Reinhardt and stuff like that. So, never forget, stay positive and have a great day. Peace out.